For a very limited time only, head on over to MrMuckcoin.com and use code GS30 to get 30% off all your purchases. Link is in the description. What's going on, guys? GS here. Welcome back to another Madden 20 video. Hopefully, you guys did not see the last video in its entirety. I still feel like the village idiot. Like we all know. Like, you know, you guys may joke around like, GS is such a goofball, always talking about how dumb he is. No, it's a fact. I'm so not smart, and it shows all the time, And maybe when I be taking these periodical breaks from uploading videos, maybe I just want to not show my stupidism as much as it needs to be shown, you know. But anyways, oh my lord, that hour-long video, it was an absolute hour-long blunder, boy, let me tell you. But ladies and gentlemen, EA made a mistake, and I was finally able to take advantage of said mistake. Finally, right? So as soon as 10 o'clock hit, the solos of Zero Chill were available, right? And if you guys, I'm sure you guys, may know, for the past 2 years, they went ahead and have captain tokens, and you gradually upgrade your captain with the token every new, big promo. And I'm not talking about like every team of the week, every big promo, Thanksgiving, Halloween, New Year, not New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, things like that. Maybe like Easter and stuff like that. And you needed 10 stars in order to get the captain's token. So this glitch was only available for like the first half an hour of the solo being live. And if you were lucky enough to do it, and I just did it and had no idea. If you were lucky enough to be one of the people to do said solo within the first half an hour, you received not one, but 2 captain tokens instead of instead of receiving one, you received 2 captain tokens. Now, usually, when all these wild things be happening, I miss them, right? Whenever they had Calvin Johnson in Christmas packs, I think last year, flying out the limited, everyone was getting them. I missed it. Whenever they, I think like a few years ago, they had Boss Steve Young, and when you did the solo, you got the actual full-blown Boss Legend instead of the power-up. I missed that one. I just always missed them. I finally was able to get one done and be able to participate and get it. So again, if you were lucky enough for the first 30 minutes of the solo being out, you went ahead and got not one, but 2 captain tokens, being able to put whatever captain you had at a 95 overall. You should have only got one. I did it. I got one, and then I backed out, and the screen kind of pulsated a little bit, and then another captain token appeared. And I thought maybe it was just a visual glitch, and I went to my binder, and I went to add the token, and lo and behold, 2 of them were indeed there. So my Shazier is a 95 overall, 96 boosted up with chems, and he looks, phenomenal now, because now he is able to get a very, very important ability that he was not able to get until he got to, at least I don't think he could get at 94. At 95 overall, which is Lurker. And if you guys don't know, Lurker is that type of animation where you got last year, you can just jump up and snag a pass if you're underneath by 8 yards. Like, the animations you get are wild. It's pretty much the catching system we were used to, catching interceptions the previous years. Now it's an ability, but you get penalized severely this year for trying to catch passes from the linebacker position. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a linebacker, as long as it's a linebacker position, no matter who you put there. For example, if you go to nickel over G and you substitute Derwin James at middle linebacker, he is going to get the linebacker penalty, and he is going to get pretty bad animations, whereas if you were using a safety, you would just get completely different animations. You get bad animations from the linebacker spot. Well, not necessarily bad, you just don't really get very good catching defensive animations from the linebacker spot, because everyone uses the linebacker. Well, not everyone, but most people use the linebacker, and EA wanted to go on ahead and make an emphasis on trying to penalize people for just, stalking with the linebacker underneath and jumping up and snagging a pass 15 yards downfield. And, so now it's an ability And now Ryan Shazier can get set ability. And this right here is essential on your user. Like, if you have a user and you don't have Lurker on it, put Lurker on and just see how many more snags you get. The combination of Lurker and Acrobat together are insane, because you'll get diving snags from 8 yards away. It's wild. So Shazier is able to get up to a 95 overall now. You can see the next upgrade, he'll be a 96, 97, 98, and then, full blow 99. But, he was a 93 previously, and then the 2 tokens brought him up to 95. And again, that's huge, because now he can get Lurker. If you guys, user your middle linebacker, it's just good to have. I don't see me utilizing it, but for all the people that do use the Lurker spots, you are able to go on ahead and utilize Shazier and get Lurker. So that's big. And on top of that, he's going to get +1 speed. And there's a big uproar, as there should be, from Twitter. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, I missed out. I was at school, I was at work, or, I did the solo. I got the 10 stars 5 minutes ago, and now its patch is gone. That's unfair. What are they going to do? Definitely unfair. Definitely unfair for a very small percentage of people to just get an extra token and have their captains boosted up by 1. I'm not complaining. I'm one of the lucky ones. I usually miss this stuff all the time. Not usually. Like, I can't even think of a glitch that happened where I was just able to be a part of. Like, I remember a few Maddens ago, 2-3 Maddens ago, where they came out with a new set to where if you went ahead and you put cards in a set, you got like an elite player or whatever, but you had to put like 4 golds or something, or whatever the set requirements were. It was glitched to where all you needed to do was put any cards there. Any, meaning you can go on ahead and put 4 bronze cards in there and receive elite cards. So the elite market like tanked, and then they started banning people that did it the next day or whatever. It was wild. But I missed that, right? Like, everyone was just feasting for that small period of time, and I finally did something without even trying. I just did the solos. I did 30 out of 50 stars. I just banged out a handful of solos. I back out. I got 2 ultimate team tickets. 2 captain tokens, and I was like, hey, what the, okay. So that was pretty cool. So now we're going to show you guys the Bruce Smith that we completely botched and got an hour worth of mistake in. And I'm not saying this to entice you to watch it. Like, no, I feel so like I shouldn't have even uploaded. That's how stupid I was in that entire video. But it is what it is. It's on the interwebs forever, and nothing I can do about it. So this card right here might be the most dominant defensive card as of Madden Ultimate Team stands today, and I'm gonna tell you why. So let's take a look at his attributes and whatnot. So you take a look, and he has 85 speed, 89 acceleration. Now, I changed just for the purpose of souping him up a little bit, because I went with run stuff for quite a while. I changed the pass rush, and pass rush is going to give +2 power move and finesse move, impact blocking, I think press, and like play. Actually, we can go through it right here. So pass rush is going to give +2 pursuit, press, catching, impact blocking, power move, and finesse move. Whereas run stuff gives +2. Instead of power move and finesse move, you get block shed and hit power. So like, you know what? His block shed is already pretty souped. Let's go ahead and just make his power move max. Instead of 97, we'll get it to 99. But what makes this card, in my opinion, what should be the most dominant defensive card in the game, is that he can now get 2 Tier 3 abilities. Now, what I mean by that is that usually from a 95 below, once you hit 95 or or whatever, like 93, 94, you get some special Tier 3 abilities like Lurker, like Zoned Out, or Universal Coverage. Like, let's take a look at Deacon Jones, for example, right? So Deacon Jones is active, by the way. So we're going to go to Tier 3, and we take a look at Tackle Supreme, Pass Rush Elite, Edge Rush Elite, and then let's go to the second slot, right? So the second slot, he cannot get Tackle Supreme because you got to be a 96 overall. You cannot get Pass Rush Elite or Edge Threat Elite or Edge Threat period because in the second slot, because you're not a 96 overall. Meaning I can only choose one, pass threat elite or edge threat elite, Bruce Smith can get both. He can get edge threat elite and pass rush elite at the same time. But what makes him even more special, which I have pass rush elite and edge threat elite, I have both of them. I mean, you take a look, he should literally be unblockable. He has power specialist, pass rush elite, and edge threat elite. So he has dominant pass rush moves and increased QB pressure. He has quicker pass rush moves and block shedding, and he gets faster power move animations during the pass rush. So he should be like dang near unblockable, right? Unless it's a double team, he should come through, or if you have an active offensive lineman, he should do a pretty good job at being able to stop the run. Come through and get off a shed and get to the QB pretty consistently with these three. But what makes him even better, and there's no one else in the game that can get this, is that he can get edge threat elite and no outsiders or inside stuff. Now that's important because a lot of people tend to run the ball a ton in this game, right? And if you want to sacrifice pass rush abilities for stopping the run, let me get into it. I believe the best chemistry in the game, the best archetype, is the power rusher. Because the power rusher, let's go to Lawrence Taylor, right? Lawrence Taylor is a perfect example. Lawrence Taylor is able to get no outsiders. And if you guys are unfamiliar with no outsiders is going to make pretty much an insta shed on any outside run. Meaning if they run a stretch or a toss or anything towards the outside, he is going to get quick, very, very quick block sheds. It is very, very tough to stop Lawrence Taylor from getting off a block when you run a stretch, which a lot of people do, or an RPO stretch that a ton of people do, and especially like in squads. So instead of having like edge threat elite or stuff like that, like I can get a D lineman, right? I can go on ahead and get Calais Campbell, right? I can get him with no outsiders, but it's just better at the linebacker spot. And if you get no outsiders with Lawrence Taylor, that means I cannot get edge threat elite, or I cannot get edge threat or pass rush elite. I can't get it because he cannot get it at tier 2. He can't. He can get power specialist, but he can't get no outsiders. So you have to choose between pass rush elite, edge threat elite, or no outsiders. So what makes this archetype really good is that I can put no outsiders on Lawrence Taylor and still power specialist. So power specialist is, faster power move animations during the pass rush, meaning when they run the ball, I can go on ahead and have no outsiders, and if it's an outside run, for the most part, they do a very good job of block shedding. Like, it's your best bet to stopping heavy outside runs. And no safeties or anything like that can get it. And if we look at someone like, let's say, the run-stopping ability, right, like Clay Matthews, he has the run-stop ability. Now, he can get no outsiders. The same as Lawrence Taylor. But Lawrence Taylor gets a pass rush ability with power specialist in tier 2, whereas the run stopping archetypes, they don't get power specialist, they don't get finesse specialist or anything like that. I can get enforcer, but I don't get any type of pass rush ability. So when, let's say in squads, if they run the ball, if they come out in a heavy run set, I can put Lawrence Taylor on the outside, right, and have no outsiders. And if they pass the ball, I can go to dime, I can go to 146, and Lawrence Taylor is still going to be able to have power specialist available, and he's going to be able to still be able to play the pass pretty good. And for the most part, power specialist is nowhere near as good as power specialist and like edge threat combined. But power specialist is still pretty good. He does a decent job of getting to the ball when they pass the ball. And I say all that to say that's why power specialist, that's why the power archetype, hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm saying and I'm not confusing you guys, but that's why that archetype is really good, because I can have no outsiders and I can have power move specialist, whereas the run stopping archetype you can't. You can get like enforcer, tackle supreme, but there's no pass rushing ability here that I can get in tier 2. Bruce Matthews can get no outsiders. Again, no outsiders on the D lineman. It's good. but it's not like how it is from the linebacker spot. But it's still good. But the fact is, he can get no outsiders and edge threat elite and pass rush elite, and that's insane. And we all know this game is heavily ability based, and the fact that he's a 96 overall means he can get two tier 3 abilities, and that's big. He's going to be able to have edge threat elite and pass rush elite and power specialist, or I can go edge threat elite and no outsiders, meaning if they run the ball and it's an outside run or inside stuff, whichever one you prefer. If you feel like you get beat a lot by inside runs or outside runs. And trust me, inside stuff and outside and no outsiders are huge. Like, those abilities are phenomenal. They do a very good job when those runs are ran. If you have no outsiders and they run inside zone, it's not going to do anything. Or if you have no outside, or if you have inside stuff and it's a stretch, nothing's really going to be too done to stop it like that. But still, he can mix up a lot of things. Like, he can get a lot of different abilities, and you can mix and match, and it's terrific, man. So we should get gameplay of this monster very, very, very soon. The guy has 2 tier 3 abilities now, which is crazy. I mean, just look. Power specialist, pass rush elite, and edge threat elite. Like, I'm going to test it out. And he better be phenomenal. He better be, because he needs to be dang near unblockable. And again, with the glitch, if any of you guys missed it, it sucks. I feel like the right thing for them to do is just, if they can somehow take away the second token from everyone, or just give everyone a second token, which I don't think they're going to do, and I don't think they're going to remove the token. So it's kind of like, if you were there, you got it. If you don't, you missed out. And it sucks, but nothing we can do about it. And like, if they completely just took away the second token, like if they just put out a statement and I come back and that second token is gone from my Shazier, I wouldn't even be upset. I understand, because that's not fair to everyone who didn't. Or if they just gave another token out to everyone, like, at 20 stars, they'll just correct it and say, at 20 stars, for those of the people that missed it, we're going to give another captain token out. And that I would understand as well. But I don't think they're going to do anything. It sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, this Bruce Smith is looking really good. We finally took advantage of a glitch, and, I'm excited about it. It's your boy Jess. We're going to go ahead and be signing out, man. Until next time. Peace!